In this speed setup video, I'm going to show you how to set up Too Many Bones Undertow, the standalone 1 to 2 player expansion from Chip Theory Games. I've wanted to get into this game system for ages, Too Many Bones, but it just looks so complicated and takes up so much space that I've sort of strayed away from it. Now, having made the plunge, I picked up a copy of Too Many Bones Undertow, and it's actually a lot simpler than you think. So I'm going to start the stopwatch and show you how quickly you can get set up. So I'm going to set up for a solo two-handed game, which is the same as a 2-player game, so we'll talk it through after. Stopwatch, go. The box is really heavy, but it's an absolute delight. All the components, as you know, are beautiful. So we have manual, and we have a couple of character sheets, which we'll stick to one side. First thing we want to do is put the play mat in the middle. It's two-sided, there's a raft and the forest. We'll put the forest up, most of the land battles to begin with. We'll put the 2 character sheets, stanza and duster in the middle with a little bit of a gap, because in that gap we're going to put the gear lock dice. And we're going to face it the right way. We're then going to get out the dice for the attack and effects. We're going to just put those to the side up here, and then we're going to get out the chips. Now, plenty of setup videos show you that you need to separate the chips out to the monsters for different baddie types. Don't bother, just discard the ones you don't need for the battle. These are obstacle or wreckage chips. We'll put these in the middle up here, and we'll put the health chips up here. These happen to be Hoplomachus weighted health chips, but they're the same size. They're just the feel without them to spend twice as much. I already had those. We'll put these chips on the player mats. We've got 2 decks of cards, which we'll come back to, but first the game dice that we're going to need. So in here we're going to take the lock picking dice. That's those. Put them to the side. We're going to fight Colossum today. We're going to need Colossum's dice. We're going to need Duster's initiative chips, or initiative dice, and we're going to need stanzas. We're going to need the round marker, which will be on round 1, and the baddie initiative dice, which we're just going to stick in the initiative meter at the bottom for now. That's done with. So onto these 2 boxes. I generally will set up the loot in the treasure chest here. So day counter we'll stick at the side with the day counter chip set to 1. We're fighting Colossum, so we'll stick his card here with his dice on, and he has got 7 points, so we'll come back to that idea. And he's also got a tyrant encounter, so we'll put that as part of our encounter deck. In here I've already got loot cards. I shuffle all this before I finish so I can get it set up nice and quick. So put loot cards here, trove loot with the dice on top to remind me, and now on to setting up the encounter. This is the waterlogged book, which is available as a PDF on the website. It's got loads of interesting stories about the lore of Too Many Bones. So this is a cover sheet. I've pre-shuffled these, all part of a quick setup. So I'm going to need, it's got 7 days, so we're going to take 7 minus 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the tyrant encounter in with those. I'm also going to need 2 special encounters, and the special encounter cards have got a little 2 for day 2, so I'll have one of those. I'll have a day 1. I'll do 1. So first off, I'm going to shuffle all these. I'm going to put my day 2, then my day 1, then my cover sheet. That is my encounter deck. Move all this to the side. We'll need our sheets. So we'll have 1 for Duster, 1 for Stanza, and we'll have our gear lock reference guide ready to hand. And now we're almost done. We're just going to place out some initiative markers. So these are the baddie chips, put those to the side. We're going to need Colossum's chip, which we'll put on there, and we'll need to set up with our health. So health wise, I tend to use the blue Hoplomachus chips, but whatever, just use what's in the box. So starting health of 3, 1, 2, 3. I think on page 21 of the rulebook is modifications for your difficulty level. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll show you, so for heroic adventure, I think you get another health, but it's all on page 20, 21 of the rulebook. So that's that set up. The wolf generally gets 2 health to start when it comes in, so you might as well stick that there now. We'll put I'll zoom in for this. We'll put these dice, these stat dice, just look like normal D6, to the side. Same for stanza. Here, and what we want to look for is innate abilities. So innate for Nightshade are the wolf, that's 13, which is here, this is dice 13, and innate for stanza is dice 6, which is the Lutar. So we'll find dice 6. No, this is Cardinal Sin. I put them out of order back in the box. And we are done. We're set up, and that took about 5 minutes 40 seconds with a lot of waffling. So let's have a bit of a breakdown, just show what's what, and further setup. So it is actually quite a good game to set up. It's fairly quick despite there being so many components. The main thing is just to be organised when you're putting it away, so that you can just take things out and get playing. I'm sort of I work fairly long hours, I've got a young family, so I don't have huge amounts of time and space to get this stuff out, so I need to be dead efficient when I do so. So let's just have a look at some of the modifiers, particularly that adventurer mode, which we talked about in the setup. So from memory it was page 20, 21. No, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's page 29. So adventurer mode, that's sort of the easiest. Heroic and then legendary. I generally play on heroic adventurer. I'm fairly new to the game. I have a basic understanding, so we're going to add 1 to the gear lock HP stat before starting day 1. So 1 there and 1 there. Also, you'll generally get 1 training point before day 1. Now on the sheets, if you've never played before, is like a beginner build, and it tells you what kind of things to do. It's actually not a bad idea. You generally find that Duster needs her dagger, not only thematically, but it's a good way of putting bleed on targets, particularly some of the baddies that have dodge. That's a really useful one to have. Stanza gets her innate, but will die quite quickly, especially she's only got 1 attack die to begin with. But Under the Old Zelfie is a good way of buffing the party and keeping health in. So Under the Old Zelfie is 10. And that's the setup to start turn 1. I'll do a full playthrough, which I'll link through up here with sort of a how-to. But to start, basically all you do is draw the card, read the card text, and then make a choice on the back. And once you've done that, you advance turn counter. But 5 minutes 40 seconds to set up really quite a complicated game, I don't think it's too bad. So it's a fantastic experience. Too Many Bones. I've gone in deep. I've got all of the back catalogue on pre-order now, but I'm absolutely addicted to this, and there'll be plenty more videos to come. Chip Theory Games are quickly becoming one of my favourite publishers. I've already done a lot of Hoppler Marcus content. Again, link to my Hoppler Marcus stuff up here. But it's a fantastic solo experience. You can play it 2-player, solo 2-handed, or you can even play solo, true solo, with 1 gear lock, which I've been doing a lot of. And they just have, in the stage where we put 5 general encounters in, you will put 5 solo encounters. So a ton of replayability and different options. And one criticism that I always hear is that you can find a build that works for these characters, but actually I'm of the opinion that it is a dice building RPG. So it's a role-playing game. So in other words, you should experiment with the different roles. There's different career progressions you can have with the 2 characters. So Duster can either take Assassin, Survivalist, Gadgeteer, or Wolf Sister. Now you'll be able to level up all of those paths or a combination, and that in itself is almost a mini game to exploring the different paths and the combination of baddies, monsters, setup, encounters. I think if you actually put this in Excel, there must be tens of thousands of permutations. So I can't speak highly enough. So I've got one more video that I'm going to put out about sort of the setup and why it is actually simpler than you think, and that's going to be called something along the lines of Too Many Bones isn't as complicated as you think. So I'll link to that video here, and if you like this kind of content, you like solo board gaming, you want to see more, do like, subscribe and comment, and thanks for watching.